ready for the next episode. Can't wait to get home and turn my TV on. I'm ready for the next episode. Got my snap shoes off, no remote control. I'm ready for the next episode.
Hi, guys. Welcome back for our next episode. I'm your host, Nick.
And I'm Jess.
And today we're going to do our final breakdown on Average Joe. I'm really excited. I really enjoyed these conversations. How about
Yeah,
you?
me too. Me too. It's been good.
So, as I kind of teased in our last episode, I want to start with the ethnic villain trope that this show has. So, for example, like this show, it's Russians. A lot of times you will see like Arabs as like the perpetual evil bad
Criminal.
guy.
Mm-hmm.
And as much as I love this show,
Mm-hmm.
it's annoying.
Yeah.
It's annoying for me because
Mhm.
like you're either the main big bad where you're like this irredeemable person, or like you're like a nameless henchman like with no agency. And
Mhm.
now this show, they did give like the big bad and like a evil sidekick, which is what did they call her in the show?
Chameleon or hit bitch? Because I
Hit
refer to
bitch.
her as hit bitch.
Yeah, like so it's like a this woman who's like an assassin spy,
Mhm.
person, and so she has a little bit more of a backstory.
And
He
so does
actually
Nicolai. Hmm.
yeah, he coerced her into working for him because you found out like when she worked for him initially, she was pregnant and she wanted to retire. And I personally feel like he arranged it, but they don't
I do too.
verify that. But
I feel like he arranged that whole situation with the car pulling up, and so that he could have an excuse to take her baby. I agree.
Yeah. So she was very, very pregnant and during her last mission, and she ends up getting her in the hospital. And when she wakes up, he tells her that her baby is dead. You find out years later that he actually had kidnapped the child, and so now he's dangling this child over her head to get her to do whatever he wants.
Hmm.
And I even though they gave her a backstory and I feel like they gave her more redeeming qualities, like they kind of made her like a she reminds me of like what is the movie with the robots?
Terminator.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, Terminator. Yes, like like she has a Terminator-esque quality,
Hmm.
which kind of everything else in the show is like so realistic, but she is like
She is so
kind
robotic. Even her
of right.
movements are robotic. Yeah.
Yes, like no one can beat her. She can hit every shot, like you know what I'm saying? And it felt a little out of place
Right.
in this show where everything else was very much grounded in reality. Although I enjoyed her scenes, mainly I enjoyed the characters reacting to her
Hmm.
because these are not criminals doing criminal stuff. And like she's like, as they refer to her, hit bitch, like she's doing everything. She can fight, she's beating them up, she's shooting at them, she's shot several of them at some point in time. And so they're like, what are we supposed how do we fight her? Like we can't go up against her. And yes, they gave the big bad a backstory,
Hmm.
but I didn't like it. Like, you know
No.
what I'm saying? Like, well, because it was like the backstory is his father was essentially an animal and he abused him so much that he turned him into an animal. And I just think that that's just so one note.
Hmm.
Like, and when I tell you, like, they made the big bad like irredeemable, they have this man kill his wife for grieving too much over their son.
Yeah.
Now he starts an entire war going after and killing any and everybody he can associated with his son's death, but he kills his wife for crying too much.
Yeah. He does.
And I just feel like they could have given like so much more nuance, so much more depth
Hmm.
to the villain, and I think it would have like just made the show that much more interesting, you know. And I just think that was for me a missed opportunity. But usually when there's the ethnic other disposable,
Hmm.
it usually happens like that. But I just feel like that is lazy writing in a show that had been so excellent In
Hmm.
every other like way of character development and writing, I really felt like they got lazy when it came to the villain.
I do agree with you. I do agree with you. And I know I just recommended that it's one of the Russians instead of Touch at the end of the last episode. And I still feel that way. But I do agree with you that it is kind of like just that trope, like and that happens a lot in American TV. I think Russians get scapegoated for a lot. And like,
Mhm.
this Cold War ain't never really end. Um, so like, yeah, they don't have any kind of character. They're just like these invincible beings that need to be dealt with or whatever. And I agree, it has a lot of elements of that. Nicolai's story, his backstory. I think he is supposed to be a sociopath in this. Like he has no feelings, no empathy, no anything.
Mhm.
And I even see him avenging his death, the son's death, as not about his care for his son. There's nothing that suggests he loves or cares for his son. It's
Right.
like, you offended me,
Mhm. You took my toy.
right? You offended me, so I have to punish you because you dared to cross me. Because yeah, him
Mhm.
killing the wife is crazy. Crazy.
That was when I said, "Wait a minute."
But she's crying too loud, and because she blames you because it is your fault. Because again, you are the head of this huge crime syndicate. Demetri was super cute. You're like, he's this attractive, pretty smart guy. Send this boy to college or modeling or
Mhm.
something.
Right.
Why
Yeah.
don't you put him in this? And
I
Demetri is not about that life.
He's not. It what He's not his father. I will say that. He had no problem disrespecting his daughter when he was beating and torturing Joe. So
Yeah.
he's not at the level that his father is, but I
Mhm.
don't know that I necessarily feel like he's a good guy.
Oh, I
You
don't feel
know,
like he's a good guy. I don't feel like he's a good guy. I just also doesn't. I don't think that Demetri is a good guy. And I do think he was using the daughter. I don't think that he loved the daughter. I don't think any of that. He was absolutely using her and calculating cold. I still don't think he has what it takes to run a crime family one day.
I
So
agree, but I
he
think his
should have went to
father
school.
also felt like that.
Yeah, agreed.
His father didn't respect him either, and he didn't think he had what it takes.
Mm-mm. He
I
just
don't
needed to
know.
go to college.
Because this is the thing, like, you have Joe,
Hmm.
who is someone who would do anything for his family, is how he's poised in the show. I have my opinions, but his character is poised in the show as someone who would do anything for his family. Imagine if they had the villain poised the same way.
Hmm.
Where he would do anything for his family, and yeah, they're coming up against each other because their
Yeah.
goals don't align. But
Mhm.
how interesting would it have
That's
been
true. That's
if
true.
they were both just fighting for their family?
Families, right? And you got
You know what
family
I
for that.
mean?
Yeah. No, no,
And
yeah,
so
that would have been a more interesting. Like, there's some reason why he had to go into this route of crime to get his family out.
mhm.
Um, Maybe he tried not to get Dimitri involved, and Dimitri got involved, and like, he didn't tell him to go, and
Right.
Dimitri, because he wants to prove that he's just as good as his dad or whatever. And but really, he's supposed to be away in America at college or something like that. Yeah, there's
Exactly.
definitely, yeah, just
There was space. But
there was
like
space for
I feel like the Russian sociopath is the easy way out,
that. I
And
do
so
agree.
that was the thing that most I'm like, you know what? Like that was a missed opportunity. The show is still good. The show is
Still
still
really good.
enjoyable.
Yeah.
It but like, let's take notes for future endeavors. Like, let's get beyond like othering different ethnicities and making it their stories so flat,
Mhm.
you
True.
know?
I agree. I agree.
And so, with that, flat characters,
Mhm.
I want to talk about somebody that we have not actually touched on at all. So,
Mhm.
I want to talk about police officer. Her name is Pam. And so, she's actually brought in pretty early in the story because once Demetrius's head, is found in
Mhm.
the golf course, she comes down because she's actually hunting Demetri, no, not Demetri,
Nicolai.
Nicolai. She's
Nicolai.
actually
Dimitri's
hunting
father.
Nikolai, and she's been trying to take down his organization. So she gets involved in the investigation, and you find out that Pam and Touch actually went to police academy together. So they've been police officers the same time, and she is like a high ranking like state detective,
Mhm.
And Touch is, as he refers to himself, a desk jockey. So
Mhm,
they are actually like foils for each other.
mhm.
But I personally like don't as much as I don't respect Touch as a cop, I don't respect Pam as a cop either.
Pam gets on
What
my
do you
nerves
think
too.
about Pam?
Pam absolutely gets on my nerves. So for a few reasons. So one, like she's a little flat as a character in one dimension. Like I
Hmm.
think like
Yeah.
the idea behind it is that like so Pam's mother got involved in with Nicolai and ended up killing her partners in jail. Pam is trying to prove that her mom is innocent. Her mom is not innocent. Um, but either way, Pam believes that she is and has been trying to go after Nicolai for years in order to get her mom out of jail. Um, she's so one-sided about everything. It's almost ridiculous, you know? So like
Yes.
there's a few different scenes and I like the way that Joe handled it. But like there's one scene and it's kind of towards the end where she's now kind of working with them and she's looking for Nikolai and she thinks she and I think it's the one where he finally finds the wife, maybe. But anyway, in the midst, he's got his wife in his hands, I believe. The wife is sick and she's in the flare up. He's not sure if she's going to make it or what have you. And Pam is yelling over his shoulder, "Where's Nikolai?" And he cusses back at her in a way that I'm
Hmm.
like, of course, because are you read the room?
Right. This is not the time.
This is not the
Right.
time. This is not the
Yeah.
time. And to me, she has a lot of moments like that where
Hmm.
it's like, yes, I get it. Getting Nikolai is important, but are you missing the complete human aspect of what's going on in this moment?
Absolutely. Like she's been like chasing Nikolai for 10 years. Her mom's been in prison for 10 years. And like her mom going to prison has hurt her reputation. She's still doing way better than Touch in her career.
Mhm.
But people kind of, because her mom was a dirty cop, people kind of make like nasty comments and she doesn't get the respect that she deserves. So I could understand if she had a little chip on her shoulder. Like
Mhm.
I understand, but I agree with you. Like they somehow drained all the humanity out of that character. She is very one note, very flat.
Mhm.
When she goes to the prison to visit her mother, and the way that they talk to each other
Here's the thing.
is crazy.
I like the mom better than I like Pam.
The mom is so like vicious to her
Mhm.
and keeps telling her to drop it and leave her alone. Now you find out like later on that Nikolai has threatened the daughter's life and that's why the mom like took the fall and killed her partner and that's why the mom is like in prison and
Mhm.
she'll tell everybody what she did. Like she's actually doing it to protect her daughter.
Mhm.
Her daughter will not
Let it
leave
go.
it alone.
Yeah.
Her mom is like, can't you go and get like have a baby, get a relationship, like live your life? Why
She
are you
said,
worried
"Get
about
married,
me?
get divorced. I don't care." And this is the thing. I think her mom's cruelty, and why I like the mom better, is the mom's cruelty is it has a purpose. She's trying to piss because she knows who her daughter is. She knows who her
Hmm.
daughter is so well. She knows her daughter is like a dog with a bone. She's not going to let go of anything. You know what I mean? And so she's trying to piss her off to the point where she doesn't care anymore. It's just not working because she's so like so got tunnel vision. So I'm like, even the mom talking to her cash crazy and acting like she don't want to get out of prison, which I think she low key don't. she,
She seems a little happy in there. She may have her little girlfriend. I don't know. She
she
seems
seems a little
really
happy in prison.
she
The only
seems
thing
a little
her mom
happy.
doesn't want to do is like she doesn't like Pam coming up there because then people accuse her of being a stitch. The mom does not want to fight bitches every day. That's the only thing.
Right.
It's like every time you come up here, I gotta spend 3 days fighting bitches. I'm like the mom don't want to fight bitches, but outside of that, she
Prison is cool. She cool. She's cool. She's very cool.
so leave your mama alone. She don't want to be bothered. And I'm like, at some point, like, when are you gonna realize that your mom, you know, like, you know what I mean? Like, she does not want you to look into this any further, and nothing clicks that there's something there as to why she doesn't want you to look in there any further. I don't know. Pam is frustrating to me.
She is, but this is what annoys me.
Mhm.
So Pam says, you know, she wants her mom to be free, but that's not really what she wants. She
No,
wants her mom to be exonerated. She wants to take down Nikolai's organization to prove
see,
that her mom is not guilty because she is actually offered, the governor offers to
mhm,
free her mom if she will leave Nikolai alone. And she's like, no.
no. I. That's
Crazy work.
crazy work. You've spent 10 years of your life at least trying to get your mom out of jail, supposedly. And so I don't even think that it's about exoneration. I think she wants revenge. And I think she
Mm.
so wants revenge on Nicolai, nothing else matters. Like saying, "Oh, I want my mom exonerated. Oh, I want my mom out of jail," is the vehicle. It sounds good, but really, what you want is revenge. Because I think she low key was pissed off that she did not get to kill Nicolai. That's why she shot him anyway after he was
Yeah,
already dead. That
she
woman.
did.
And then Touch said, "Do you feel?" I think it was Touch says, "Do you feel better?" And she was like, "Kind of do, yeah." She wanted revenge, and she so wanted revenge so bad it blinded everything else. Because she could have been got her mom out of jail.
When Touch looked at her and said, "Why wouldn't you get your mom out? Like, are you crazy?"
Hmm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because any normal person you give that scenario to,
Hmm.
Touch is another police officer.
Hmm.
Now, he's not the most moral officer,
No,
but
he's
I'm
not.
sorry.
But neither,
Even
yeah.
her boss was like, girl,
Girl,
do
what is
what
wrong with
he's
you?
doing. Get your mama out and mind your business. Like,
Mhm,
that is the governor.
mhm.
And she's just like, no, I can't break my morals. But then she, like, in the quest of Nicolai, she tortures like the guy that was injured. Like, you really don't have morals. Like you said,
No,
she's on a quest for revenge. And I just think that once again, that's a missed
interested in this
opportunity.
morality, but it's not because, like, no, you killed somebody in the line of duty. You, yes, Touch has addiction issues, but you are torturing him by withholding drugs that you know, you know what I mean? Like, he didn't go through withdrawals by choice. He went through it by force out of you trying to get information out of him. So
I feel like
again,
that was kidnapping. Yeah, I know they were
thank you.
at his
Yeah,
house, but I feel like she
yeah.
kidnapped him to keep him locked up and dangle the drugs in front of his face and
Or date.
watch him go through like withdrawal. Like that is disgusting. I'm
That,
sorry.
that is yeah, absolutely. So I again, she tries to frame it in this morality, and I'm the good cop, and I'm the only good cop, and everybody else is bad cops. But no, you do a lot of stuff that is not by the book. You do like when it suits you, when you think it's going to get you closer to Nikolai, you're perfectly fine with doing things that are off the book. The only thing you wouldn't do was get your mom out of jail, and that's
Right.
because that's still not going to get at Nikolai, who you really wanted to get at. You want revenge. That's it.
Yeah. I I was very disappointed in how one
Mhm.
note her character
Yeah.
was. Because once again, like there was opportunity for nuance. There's opportunity to add some sort of balance in
Mhm.
there. Like that could have been like a really interesting character. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? But once it was she was very, very, very one note, which is interesting because like Kathy,
Mhm.
Angela, and is her name Jennifer?
Yeah. So,
They actually have like more depth.
mhm.
Even whiny Angela has like is a well written character. She's just a character I don't enjoy.
I feel
Jennifer,
the same thing. I feel like Jennifer is also well written. She just gets on
mhm,
my nerves. But
right,
there's a reason, like it makes sense within the context of the story.
right. So it's like, okay, you actually you can do good female characters. You know what I mean? Just like the same way, like I feel like they didn't do a good job writing Dimitri, but they have so many well written characters.
Mhm.
I just like sometimes I don't know if it's just they just get tired or what, you know what I mean? But like there are some, those are two misses. If they would have did a better job on Pam and Dimitri, I mean I keep calling him Dimitri and
Nicolai.
Nikolai,
Mhm.
I would let it go. I would let Hit Bitch go as being like the female RoboCop in this
Right.
very
I think
down
so.
to earth story. Like, but I just
That's
like
true.
they were two misses. And like Pam
Mhm.
was getting on my nerves because she was a lot of times in the way and making things harder for them when they already had enough going on. Like they're trying to find this money, do this like the world's worst scavenger hunt, and they're trying to fight the Russians, and she's just there
Just in the
making
way,
things more difficult. She
but
did not
also
help
not getting
solve
at
any
her
crime.
goal either.
Right.
So like
She
you are just a problem.
she is. Like I'm like, you did not solve any crimes.
No, no, no crimes were solved by you.
You
You
were
got
just in
close.
the
You danced
way.
around a lot of stuff, but you
If
never got
she
to it.
Think about this,
Mhm.
if she was completely removed from the story, nothing changes.
Dang.
Nothing changes. If things are actually a little bit easier for our faves.
Hmm.
Like she honestly did not bring that much to the story.
That's true. But her mama, I did like her mama.
Her mom was funny.
Her mom was hilarious.
She was funny because I've just like once again, it
I
was
don't know if
not
she's
as
supposed
bad
to be
as
a funny character, but she was funny to me.
I don't think it was, but black people we have weird senses of humor, so she probably was supposed to be funny.
Okay.
But like, because it to me, like the way that like that lady was cussing at Touch
Hmm.
was the same like viciousness at which she talked to her daughter.
Hmm.
But then it's like her daughter like has such an angry voice.
Hmm.
Like that's once again one note. You think
Yeah.
like you're at the jail and you're talking to your
You're trying
mom
to
and
reason
she's
with your mom.
incarcerated, and you would think that she would talk with emotion
She's talking to
and
her like a cop.
feeling. She right. That's what I'm saying. Like that's not realistic. Even
Hmm.
if your mom is being bitchy, we've all experienced it. You know what I mean? You don't. That's not how you talk to your mom.
So don't talk to your mama like that. Yeah, I just want her mama to live her dream of being able to go get her hair and nails done in jail and not have to fight bitches because that's all
Right.
she wants.
I don't think if they would have opened the gates, the mom was leaving. The mom just needs to take the daughter off of her visitation list,
She do.
and she can go and live her best life. Just like Kay, put a little money on my book so
Put
I
some
can
money
get
in
my
my book.
commentary enough for me and my girlfriend, and I can keep my hair done. Like she is chilling, but like black moms, we go through a lot.
Hmm.
So maybe this 10 years in prison was like a vacation for her. She ain't paying out one bill in
That's
10 years.
true. That's true.
She chilling. She barely probably in there. She might have got her like a little lightweight job, but
Hmm.
it may have actually be like a vacation. Because imagine raising that girl.
Oh God. Oh God.
She might have needed that vacation.
You
Okay.
know what? Hmm. Yeah. I think on Kevin can F himself. You sided with the evil mom character. On this one, I like the evil mom character. I'm like, the woman don't ask. She not asking for much.
She not.
Let
Just
her have
leave
what
me
she
alone.
asking for.
Leave. Just leave. Just please. Just leave me alone. So I want to kind of talk about I know we touched on it earlier, but I want to kind of finish the talk about Teddy's scavenger hunt,
Hmm.
which is Joe's father, and I want to talk about where I feel like Kathy failed,
Okay.
because Kathy is, our favorite character, and
Yes.
she is the character
Love
who is the
Kathy.
most accomplished.
Hmm.
But we're going to see we see her take an L towards the end of the show.
Hmm.
So once again, getting back to Teddy as the world's worst scavenger hunt person. um,
Creator, scavenger hunt creator. Is that a thing?
right. So far, like they've found the $100,000. They found the key that led them to the Lambo, and then Kathy figured out that the license plate led to Joe's address.
Hmm.
And so Joe ends up finding $1 million hidden in a deer's head, very random, which he turns into a weapon to kill another Russian person. And so at this point, there's still $9 million that's unaccounted for. And so everybody is kind of like primarily focused on getting Jennifer back, because at this point Jennifer has given herself over to the Russian person because she's pregnant and she thinks that he won't kill her because she's having Dimitri's baby. And so everybody's focused on rescuing Jennifer, but Leon, like, I love that little speech that he gives Kathy where he's like, you know what, if anyone can find the money,
Oh, me
you can find
too.
it.
And I'm like,
The way he
Kathy girl, stop
empowered
being
her.
humble. You know you got this.
And so Kathy uses her true crime knowledge and says, you know what, when I don't know what to do, start at the beginning. And so she starts at the beginning, and I couldn't follow the clues, but apparently she did.
Hmm.
And she finds that there's a cabin that Teddy has. And in the cabin, she finds the mother lode. Now, you would think it would be money,
Of course.
right?
Yeah.
But because once again, Teddy is the worst scavenger hunt person, he decides to leave his son, who is a plumber, who leads a very normal
Normal.
life,
Hmm.
he decides to leave him tons and tons and tons of heroin.
Yeah.
I was so irritated.
Hmm. That's an inheritance for you.
I was so irritated because I'm like, okay, once again, is this scavenger hunt to help him? Is this to make Joe's life better? Because why in the world would you convert this money into heroin
Mhm.
knowing that that is not Joe's lifestyle?
No. Well, okay.
And
The
so,
only thing I can say with that, the only thing is that we do find out that Teddy's death was an accident. Like he accidentally burned into a fire. Maybe he thought he had more time. Maybe the plan was to convert it into money, and he never got the opportunity. But yeah, I agree. The heroin sucks.
terrible. Because like, this is my thing. If you wanted to do that, why not convert it as you get it back into money?
Hmm.
Well, you just have ton. Like, how long would it have taken him to get rid of all of this heroin?
I
Like, it's
don't
a
know.
lot of heroin, guys. It's a crazy amount of heroin. So Kathy finds the drugs, and I think it's hilarious because she does not tell Joe or Touch or anybody else but Leon.
They didn't tell them about selling the Lambo either. They also got the 50
Oh
grand
yeah,
for selling Lambo, which
yes,
I agree with. At this point, you need some more compensation than you were getting.
absolutely. And it doesn't make sense. It makes sense to sell the car to a chop shop.
It
I didn't
does.
understand why they were like, let's dunk the
No,
water,
it's going to
dunk
be
the
found
Lambo
eventually,
in
and
the
then
lake.
there's going to be questions. And then the
Right.
car is registered to your address. Again, that's why you don't let men do crimes alone.
So yes, Kathy did. She made $50,000 for her and Leon selling the Lambo, and she finds the heroin, and she doesn't tell anybody but Leon. Now this is where I feel like Kathy starts taking an L because I'm gonna. This is something I said earlier. Okay, why are you doing crimes in your hometown? You all of a sudden have decided that you're going to start selling the heroin. Now she's trying to be a supplier. So she's trying to sell big amounts. But why are you doing this in your hometown?
Yeah.
Why not go further? Like once again, like you like it just doesn't this is bad criminal
It
activity.
is. You also asked one person that you think is addicted to try it and then tell you who. You did no research on this person,
None.
which is like if he's that big of a drug dealer, he will be known in that community. You didn't
Right.
ask nobody else. You didn't, and so you end up with an undercover cop, unfortunately.
She does. But before we find out that the person she's trying to sell drugs to is an undercover cop,
Mhm.
she has the meeting with who she thinks is a drug kingpin, and she's really out of her depth. She really doesn't know like what to do, and you can kind of see it. Like she doesn't have the confidence. I'm not even sure the price that she's getting is the right price, but
I'm sure
more
it's not.
importantly, she had to actually do drugs. Like the
That's
kingpin
the part.
made her do drugs. And that for me was terrifying.
Hmm.
Watching her be under the influence and walking around and not knowing what's going on, like
Let me tell
that
you.
was so scary.
Every interaction with her and the kingpin in the car had me on edge. And again, this is going to be because I'm a woman and I'm just like the possibility of rape is ever present. And so while that's never a thing in the show, like we never get, thank God, we never have a scene like that. But the whole time in the car, I was like, he's made her do drugs. He could do whatever he wants to her. And I'm terrified, you
Mhm.
know?
Not just him, though. When she leaves his car, she's still heavily intoxicated
Hmm.
under the influence of drugs, and she's just walking the streets, and she could have easily been taken advantage of by anybody.
Hmm.
And so, like that was like that. When I that would have been it for me.
While
That
I get why she hasn't told Joe and them yet. I think she eventually they do tell them, but while I get why they haven't told them yet, and they're still kind of figuring out because yeah, Kathy and Leon are still like okay, but we still got to take care of home first, which I get. Um, I still feel like a man should have done that.
Yes.
'Cause,
Not
like,
just one man either. I feel
mhm,
like that should have been like a two men.
mhm,
That to me, that's a group project.
right,
She tried to run out and do it so fast and do it
hmm,
on her own. That should have been she should have
right,
waited until they finished the situation with the Russian,
hmm,
see what how that situation ended, and then as a group, they
hmm.
should have tried to tackle
Deal
this
deal with and
situation
tackle
with
that
the
right.
heroin. Like, I don't
So
understand why she was moving so fast.
Hmm. Yeah, I guess I don't either. Maybe just because everything is so heightened and you're trying to get the money and get out and get and do something. Because they're also trying to run. The Russians have been closing in on them. They've killed Winnie and Stan in the house. You know what I mean? Like so much stuff is going on. So maybe
Mhm.
that's the heightened. Like let's get some money so that we can get out of here. Because I think
But
her and Leon talk about running a few
400,000
times.
they have $400,000 at this point though,
No, no,
and
no,
she
no, no,
knows where the well she has more than that actually.
no. Like they got $400,000. Like everybody don't have $400,000.
What actually she does because they got their share of the million was
Okay.
333,000. They
And then she
got
got the $50,000 and
$50,000
the
for the
20,000.
Lambo and the initial
Okay, so yeah,
20,000.
okay, okay. So then
So
yeah,
she
so they do have
so
four.
you know where the drugs are. You have $400,000. You can go somewhere, lay low.
Because
3
nobody
months.
knows where that is, and then come
Right.
back. But I'm like, just the situation with, and it's not because Kathy is, of course, clear to me. She is the most capable person in the entire show. She is my
Mhm.
also always my favorite character, and I think she's really good for the most part. But I'm like, you're talking about dealing with drug dealers and gangsters, and these are men, and like they already, I feel like he didn't give you a good price because he didn't respect you because you're a woman, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And then he's got the physical strength and gun, so he can be like, what you gonna do if I don't give you know what I mean? Like there's absolutely nothing. That's why I feel like you should have had some men go up there, even though,
Also, Touch is a police officer. He would know who the drug dealers are in the city.
well,
He would be able to do
good point.
like it would be
A really
more
good point.
reliable. Like I just like that to me was a huge L. And so
Mhm,
because she rushed out and rushed ahead,
mhm.
the kingpin that she made a deal with turns out to be an undercover cop and he ends up getting shot. Does Leon shoot or does Kathy shoot? Which one of them shoot him?
Leon.
Leon shoots an undercover cop, and that's actually where the season ends. And I'm just like,
Oh,
oh Lord,
where are we going from
right,
here?
right. And so I see if the
Kathy
show gets
also better be
another
alive because she got
right.
shot. I
Oh yeah,
can't do
she
this
did.
without her next season. Y'all gonna figure
And
it out.
so I see where they're going
Mhm.
for next season. Like, okay, well, the Russian situation
Is
is
dealt
done.
with. Now we got to deal with
Let's
the drugs
introduce.
and the.
And so I get it, but
Mhm.
I'm like, but I hate that they used Kathy because to me that was she had been really good and really
Yeah,
strategic
she's good at
and like
murder.
really
She's
right.
not good at drugs. Just because you're good at one set of crimes doesn't mean you're good at all the sets of crimes. Yeah.
That's so true. So
Mhm.
yeah, she that was a major L, but it there's a lot of like meat for next
Mhm.
season because we so at the end of the season Angela, who is Joe's wife, and his daughter Jennifer, they have left and they left Joe a note basically saying, you didn't choose us, you didn't keep us safe, and so now we're going to leave and be safe on our own. I have my feelings about that, but whatever.
Mhm.
um we don't know if Touch has killed himself. All we know is that he was suicidal and the gun went off.
Mhm.
And then Leon and Kathy have this drug deal that has gone as
Terribly
about
bad.
as bad as it can go. What is interesting though is I'm surprised that he did not have backup with him.
Who?
The
The police
undercover
officer.
officer.
Okay.
I feel like if he was like going to make a buy,
Mhm.
he had already met with her and she had already did the drugs, so he knew the like that she
Mhm.
had some amount of drugs.
Mhm.
I was really surprised that when they met up, if he was an undercover cop, why were there not like other cops waiting?
Right.
So
Right.
that was interesting to
That's
me. I'm
weird.
like,
Yeah.
I don't understand that. I mean, I don't know. I've never worked in Vice, but I've watched a lot of shows where I've seen undercover drug operations. I'm
Mhm.
just saying that's interesting.
Mhm.
So I really hope they get a second season.
Mhm.
I
It
really
looks
do.
like it. So from the research I did today, it looks like they are going to get a second season. They should be filming now and possibly release summer of 2025.
Oh, that's excellent.
Mhm.
That's excellent. I look forward
Me too.
to reviewing it. Yeah. So yeah, I think that having like the big bad be like the cops this season
Oh, that would be good. Mhm.
Yeah, it would be good because it like there's so many ways that they can go with
Mhm.
that because it's like, are all the cops righteous or some of them? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's a lot that can be there's a lot there that they can do. And I think already like the thing that I had the biggest issue with, which was like the Russian villain trope, it's gone.
Yeah.
No, never to have to come back again, you
Mhm.
know. So like I like that
Mhm.
fact, you know, although when there's a large amount of drugs that puts a bullseye on you. So
Mhm.
they may have more than just cops coming after them if people find out how many drugs they have.
Right.
So like they have space and they have opportunity.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited
Yeah.
that they're
Okay.
get another season.
And one real quick, what like, it made me think of something when you just said, so with the cop not having backup, so then is he a dirty cop? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, is that why you don't have backup? You know?
That's very true. Because you know, like I've seen, you know, in other shows where cops get undercover and they start to like the life too much, they start to
Yeah,
actually use the drugs
that
and then
was
they get
Kathy's
caught
first
up.
time doing heroin. That was not his first time. That was
You
not his.
know, I'm not a drug person,
Mhm,
period. But
mhm.
like to see like the way that they like depicted her being high, I'm like, oh, my nightmare. Like it's just like,
Absolutely. Oh my God. Yeah, that was one of the times too that I was most scared. I was so, and then when she encounters the police afterwards, and
mhm,
I'm like, oh God, no, no. Yeah, I was so scared for her so many different times. It's like, please just let her get home. Please.
mhm.
Please let her get home. Or
Yes,
Leon come get her something.
yeah. In Kathy we trust, but yeah, she's not the they. Somebody needs to take the reins next season, and I feel like it should be
She's not the
Touch.
queen pin.
She's not. She's not.
That
She
makes
is
more
not.
sense. Touch to be sort of the kingpin.
Like, you
Yeah.
know,
Kathy does
yeah.
the murders. Touch does
Hmm.
the drug running. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, we can have dirty cop versus dirty cop. Oh, there's a lot of things that can go here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's definitely potential. So I'm so excited because so often
Mhm,
like we fall in love with the show and then they kill it.
mhm, yes.
Like
So yeah, it looks
so
like I said, it looks like it. Everything that I read suggested that it's going to be second season coming out June 2025. You know how Hollywood is; you never know. But I'm hoping and believing that. I hope they're recording right this minute.
oh yes, I agree. Wow, we're done with Average Joe. Like
Yeah,
that's so enjoyable. Like I really enjoyed myself. I
me
hope you
too.
guys enjoyed yourself. I hope you guys will look out for our next episode. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.
I'm ready for the next episode. Can't wait to get home and turn my TV on. I'm ready for the next episode. Got my snatch shoes off, no remote control. I'm ready for the next episode.